The next day, Frederick was woken up by an argument. Right in front of him was a tank engine and Lord Rathmore's replacement.
Oh God, is it too much to ask for to get some sleep around here?
He soon realised there was no point in complaining. He could see his driver and fireman walking towards him, which meant it was time to get up anyway.
You're also pitifully weak. I reckon it took 3 of you to get the coaches to the platform.
What tripe? What have you got against us anyway? I would expect this from an LNR engine, but not from one of our own.
How typical. Must you compare me to a railway I resent? Then again, considering what a dreadful place this is, it's no surprise you engines are.
That's enough, Goliath. The day's going to be long enough without you adding extra hours to it. I've enough to worry about without listening to you go on about how perfect you are.
I never said I was perfect, but considering you're all probably too tired to think properly, it's excusable. Wouldn't you agree? Any other made-up stories you wish to share?
Oh, you should show everyone here a modicum of respect.
If Lord Rathmore were here, you wouldn't be so quick to say any of those things. He's dealt with your sort before.
Oh really? If he was here, then there would be no reason for me to be here in the first place, would there? So what kind of logic is that? I'm tired of looking at this rat's nest.
Well, stop looking in the mirror then. Look at the harbour next time. Rats in your smoke box certainly won't do you any good. Perhaps that's why you're all steamed up.
This made Goliath very angry. He blew steam at Frederick and hissed fiercely as he laughed.
How do you know his name? Do you know each other?
Oh, no, not really. I just heard the yard manager talking to someone last night, and that's what he called him. I was too tired to hear the rest.
Are you alright? You don't seem like your usual self.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just a bit tired, that's all.
Frederick thought about what the tank engine had said, and wondered if anything was wrong with himself, but he decided not to dwell on the thought of not being his usual self, as he believed paranoia could spread like a plague and corrupt the minds of many. When Frederick collected his train, at first things went well, but Frederick found it was getting harder the further he travelled. Once he got closer to the station, Frederick soon felt he was out of breath, and he started to struggle with the train. Frederick soon realised exactly what the tank engine was talking about earlier on.
Come on.
The driver and the fireman noticed Frederick's wheels were slipping, and he turned on the sensor gear, but it was no use. Frederick could go no further, and ended up stopping beside a signal box just a few miles away from the station. The driver tried again and again to get Frederick to move, but to no avail.
I'm sorry. I just can't go any further.
Frederick felt even worse when he realised the engine that had passed him was from LNER. He hoped it hadn't noticed him.
I hope you haven't broken down. We're already one engine short.
The driver went to speak to the signalman. In just under an hour, another engine arrived to pull Frederick and his train the rest of the way. When the train was put into the station's sidings, the other engine helped Frederick into an empty siding. Then the engine went to collect his local passenger train, which was running late, as the engine had been called down to help Frederick. The driver and fireman looked all over Frederick, but they couldn't see any obvious problems.
What could be the problem? You were fine earlier.
Frederick didn't answer. Should we get an engine to help him back to the harbour?
I think he'll be able to get back light engine. There doesn't seem to be any major damage to prevent him from moving on his own. However, we can't risk Frederick pulling any more trains till this matter is addressed. Otherwise, his condition could worsen.
But weren't we supposed to take a holiday special? Was I just gonna take it instead?
I don't know, but Frederick clearly can't at the moment. We'll contact the railway inspector and see what he has to say. It's too bad really to stay started so well.
The crew had difficulty getting Frederick to start, but eventually he was crawling slowly back to the harbour. Frederick's crew went to the yard manager's office to ask for permission to contact the railway inspector and speak to him about the situation. The railway inspector said on the telephone that the holiday special Frederick was going to take would be cancelled and buses would have to take the passengers instead. Any other trains he was to take were also cancelled. The railway inspector also said he would be coming down to the harbour in the evening with Workmen to see what could be done for Frederick. When they got outside, the fireman sighed. That's it then, I suppose. We'll just have to wait. I'm sure the bus companies are delighted. More revenue for them and less for us. How typical. That evening, the railway inspector and the workmen arrived. Frederick's driver and fireman were waiting for them at the platform.
The workmen are going to check Frederick over now. From what you were saying, it could be an internal problem. I just hope it's nothing too serious. It's bad enough one engine had to go to the works, never mind the possibility of having to send Frederick as well. And as you know, I've had no choice but to cancel all his trains today. If it wasn't for the holiday specials, finding another engine would be a lot easier on such short notice.
They went over to the shed where Frederick was. The workmen checked all over Frederick, from smoke box to cab, and they even repeated the procedure several times to make sure they didn't miss anything. But they still found nothing. Everything seems to be in perfect order.
Odd. Are you sure?
We've checked all over him several times. Nothing seems to be damaged.
The only thing I can think of is Frederick could be worn out from the heavy workload. He has been complaining about it for some time. This has to be it, but I wonder why I never thought of that sooner. Too many possibilities.
The railway inspector thought about his reply.
Well, we can't be certain, but if it is the case, we're going to have to try and change how much work he has to do. Hopefully it's as simple as that, but what I have in mind might affect another engine, because none of Frederick's work can disappear just like that. There's no sense in having Frederick do more than he can handle, because this might happen again. Yes, he's strong enough to pull these trains, but without a good rest it doesn't matter. We'll see how he is tomorrow, but it doesn't mean he won't have to go to the works.
How come it would involve another engine? Wouldn't changing the times for the trains be easier so Frederick gets more time to rest?
Change the times for some of Frederick's trains? That would be more trouble than it's worth. I could think of several reasons why.
The railway inspector explained what he intended to do. Frederick's driver nodded. The railway inspector and the workman went away. The driver and fireman hoped the workmen were right. All this way for nothing. Quit complaining, you lazy git. It'd be worse if that engine was sent to the works for no reason.